Welsh Beacons Prepper Diary, Part 3, by Slave to No Man. They won't tell you it's happening, not on the telly, not officially. What you'll get is smiles, empty ones, and phrases like market adjustments and temporary supply issues as you stare at 4 loaves of bread and an aisle full of novelty crisps. That's where we are now. Not broken, just wobbling. Enough to notice, not enough to panic. And honestly, I think that's more dangerous. People don't prepare during a storm. They prepare in the silence before one, if they're paying attention. So, here I am. Still Tom, still in the Beacons, still writing this down in case it helps someone else, or just helps me remember why I bothered in the first place. This is the next leg of the journey, week 30 to week 40. The lights are still on, for now. So let's carry on, shall we? Prologue. Not mad, just early. It's strange how normal weird gets. By now, the power flickers aren't news. The shelves being half full is just another shopping day of buying less choice and bringing home less. And prepping? Well, it's not a hobby anymore. It's habit. The quiet's still here, still stretching. But it's not silence, it's pressure building under polite smiles. This leg starts at week 30, a time when being ready doesn't feel wild anymore. It feels necessary. People are watching the weather forecast and the world in the same breath. We're still good, still ticking. But the question hanging in the air is, how long can things wobble before they tip? Diary entry, week 30, rain barrels and rainy looks. Tom Llewellyn's journal, Sunday, week 30, installed a rain barrel. Not a fancy one, just a blue drum with a hacked bit of guttering and a tarp funnel. Emma rolled her eyes like I'd brought home a water 500-liter Bowser. But when the outside tap froze this week, guess who had the only kettle boiling? Becky filmed a TikTok about it, titled it Dad's Mad Max Water Rig. She got 1,200 views and no tea. Private thought, you don't wait for a flood to learn how to bail. This isn't madness. It's a message to the future me. I've got you, mate. Diary entry, week 31, Toolbox Talks and Trust. Tom Llewellyn's journal, Sunday, week 31. Sorted the tool shed. Not the throw it in and hope kind of sort. Actual labeling. Even found the missing chuck key. Felt like a spiritual win. Liam helped. He didn't ask why we needed all this stuff. He asked how to use it. We siphoned a can of water as practice. No fuel, no panic. Just knowledge. He stayed behind to wind up the solar charger. Quiet kid, sure I can hear his cog gears turning. Private thought, he's growing into this, into life. Maybe prepping isn't just about supplies. Maybe it's about growing men from boys who know how to make things work. Diary entry, week 32. One pot, no power, family dinner. Tom Llewellyn's journal, Sunday, week 32. Ran our first real drill. No mains, no fridge, no complaints allowed. Cooked rice and veg on the camping gas stove. Liam added pepper like it was caviar. Becky moaned until she realized her phone was still charged. Emma quietly lit 3 candles and smiled. After dinner, we played a board game by lantern light. No one died. Even the dog looked relaxed. Private thought, it's not the food or the dark. It's the not knowing that undoes people. Take that away, and even a no-power day becomes just another Sunday. Diary entry, week 33. 3 calls and a chicken. Tom Llewellyn's journal, Sunday, week 33. Gavin tried to trade us a chicken again. Prize egg-laying hen. Janet. Yeah, Janet, what next? Anyway, she still hates men, and still lays like royalty. I politely declined and went for some fishing hooks and a spare torch instead. He looked impressed, called it sensible over sentimental. Made a few calls round the street. Light chats. How's the boiler? You sorted for meds? You noticed the fuel cap again? The neighbor over the back gate asked if I knew where to get a hand-crank radio. Amazon, if the grid holds, I said. We both laughed, nervously. Private thought. Community isn't built during the storm. It's built on these quiet checks, these shared looks, these unspoken "you okays?" Diary entry, week 34. Solar dreams and battery realities. Tom Llewellyn's journal, Sunday, week 34. The solar battery bank works. Mostly. 2 phones and the torch. Took all day to charge. Emma said, "It's like watching a snail do CPR." She's not wrong, but it works. It's ours. And it doesn't need anyone's permission to keep going. Gavin brought over a solar panel leaflet. Becky rolled her eyes. Liam asked how many amps we'd need to run a kettle. Private thought, I don't need off-grid luxury. I just want power that isn't borrowed, that can't be taken with a flick of a switch I don't control. Diary entry, week 35, the lost shop list. Tom Llewellyn's journal, Sunday, week 35. Went to the shop without a list. Rookie mistake. Came back with some tins of veg curry and regret. No bread. Milk gone. Only thing full was the energy drinks aisle. Says a lot. Emma now keeps a clipboard by the fridge. Running low list. She won't call it prepping. I don't care what she calls it. It works. We sorted tins by date and actually rotated. Becky found the tin from 2018 and named it Grandad Bean. Private thought, the system's fragile, but so are we, unless we start acting like what we store now is the future we eat later. Diary entry, week 36. Test the stuff, Tom. Tom Llewellyn's journal, Sunday, week 36. Finally tested everything. Not held it and nodded. Actually used it. Purifier, clean and sharp. Fire steel, after 3 tries and a small blister. Stove, still boils fast, still smells like optimism and butane. Liam set up a water station in the shed. Filter, soap, towels. Called it Dad's Spa. He's not wrong, but he's a good lad. Private thought, if you can't use it with cold hands and low light, you haven't really prepped. Drills aren't overkill. They're rehearsals for reality. Diary entry, week 37, lines and limits. Tom Llewellyn's journal, Sunday, week 37. Petrol's limited again. Many shops only take cash. Others now have signs saying, no refunds, no complaints. Comforting. Emma asked if we had enough to get by for a month. I said, oh yes, with a smile. She nodded once and started listing what else we might need. Becky baked flapjacks with oats from the prep bins. Said, it's like cooking with cardboard. She still ate 3. Private thought, limits don't start when things collapse. They creep in, sign by sign. All you can do is stay 3 signs ahead of everyone else. Diary entry, week 38, wind, rattles, and ready meals. Tom Llewellyn's journal, Sunday, week 38. Storm hit. No power for 24 hours. Internet gone. Wind howled like a feral choir. We stayed in the lounge, warmed up stew on the stove. Liam played cards. Becky braided LED fairy lights into her hoodie like some kind of rave survivor. No one panicked, no one snapped. We just managed. Private thought. This is what resilience feels like. Not bravado, not bragging, just calm, controlled, capable. If this is normal now, I'll take it. Diary entry, week 39. Nail it down. Tom Llewellyn's journal, Sunday, week 39. Reinforced the shed, nailed the gate, checked the locks, secured the bin lids, again. Not paranoia, just prep maintenance. You don't notice loose hinges till the wind screams. Gavin came by to say, keep an eye on Saturday. Word is, rationing. Then he nodded and walked off like he'd just delivered a prophecy. I cleaned of the garden spade, just in case. Private thought. They won't say it until it's too late. You'll just feel it. The pull, the pause. So you prep quietly, and you secure everything that matters. Diary entry, week 40. Calm before something. Tom Llewellyn's journal, Sunday, week 40. Everything worked this week. No storms, no outages, no sudden panic. And yet, there's a tightness in the quiet. Shops have fewer choices. News sounds like it's trying not to blink. Even Emma asked, what if this really is just the start? I said, then we're lucky to be ahead of it. Because we are. We've got heat, food, plans, tools, and the kind of weird family that jokes about tinned carrots in the dark. We're ready, or as ready as we can be. Private thought. Prepping was the question. This is the answer. And if it kicks off tomorrow, we're not caught. We're waiting with purpose. One step ahead. Week 40 feels like a checkpoint. Not the end, not quite the storm. Just the breath before the sky changes. We're steady, stocked and calm. And if next week brings us another blackout, well, I know where the torches are. I know how to feed the kids. And I know I'm not the only one who's ready. Tom.